Donald Trump is coming after me. I also DM'd privately, which I have not previously said publicly.
A frequent target of the White House's ire is influencer, political commentator, TikTok star Harry Sisson, as I'm sure you've heard and we've talked much about. You saw on screen there the famous poo video where the president of the United States posted a video of him dropping sewage on the face of Harry Sisson. And I had, because we have the latest example of this being the communications guy at the White House, Stephen Chung, who's a fun looking character, attacking Harry Sisson. I decided I'd just have him call in real quick to chat about this. Harry, thank you so much for hopping on.
Luke, thank you for having me. Your introduction was so kind. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here.
You are wonderful. And it's weird to know you personally and then see because it's almost like beyond you, there is this figure of Harry Sisson that exists all the time consistently in the minds of right-wingers. And it's something I've tried to get my head around. And then we can talk about this a little bit more later once we go through the headline here. But there's something strange about not just the hate you bring out in Trump supporters, but the type of hate. And it often seems to go in a kind of strange sexual direction. So we'll talk about that in a second. But let me play the video that was the most famous example of Trump posting a video, AI, where he drops poo on you. Then we'll talk about your clash with Stephen Chung. Have you seen this before? You heard of this? You can take that down, Gene.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I've never seen that video before, Luke, actually, ever.
I mean, pretty crazy stuff, huh? So let me read for the audience the exchange you had, and then I'll get your take on it. So everyone, this is on X, and you have someone named James Blair responding to Harry Sisson saying, this is what Harry said, "I can confirm that your orange daddy just got destroyed by Gavin Newsom at Davos after attempting to silence him." And James Blair said, "Why do you call every guy daddy, Harry Sisson?" Which is confusing because it's all of the fans of Trump that keep calling Trump daddy. So that's obviously why you're referring to it that way. But so then Harry said, "Oh, I'm just quoting you, James," with a daddy's home video. And then James said, "Quiet down or Stephen Chung will have to spank you." So it took 2 tweets from James to get to what I was referring to. It always goes there, Harry. Stop doing this to them.
I don't know, man. You're right. It's a very short temper they live with, of which, you know, they start with the criticism of, again, I think the daddy thing is still pretty weird. I guess he just didn't understand it. Then he immediately went to spanking. I'm like, this is an administration that's currently covering up the Epstein files. I don't know why this is the route you want to go down of being weird like this, but alas, we are here.
Right. So then James said, "Quiet down or Stephen Chung will have to spank you," which, to be honest, of anyone you could pick at the White House to be the one doing the spanking, Stephen Chung is one of the weirder options. And so then Stephen Chung jumps in and says, "Harry Sisson might actually like that. He's a sick freak." So just to be clear, without you saying anything in the direction of spanking or anything like that, just between James and Stephen, now they have already created a whole fantasy of Stephen spanking you and you liking it. And you're sick for that. You're sick because they think you like it. And then Harry said, "This is a real photo of Stephen Chung." Who is a pedophile protector like Trump. Not sure how someone achieves this remarkably bad build, but he did. He's a pathetic low-life loser like the rest of the cowards sitting in the White House right now. Thanks, HJS. And then you said, like, seriously, this dude is uniquely hard to look at. And there's another photo. And then it keeps going on. And Stephen Chung said, "Sorry, I'm not interested." And you said, "No one will ever be interested in you, Stephen. Not even the White House interns you may stare at weirdly. Now, Stephen, where are those Epstein files your boss keeps covering up?" And there's another photo. And we don't look shame, but how are you not supposed to attach that photo when they're talking about spanking? All right. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So what were your thoughts privately about this obsession, even now up to the White House with you?
You know, Luke, you correctly pointed it out, which is I don't understand why every single time I get into beef with the White House, it's something creepy. It's something weird. It's not just like, oh, I disagree with him on his views. It's like, okay, we're going to drop poop on him from an AI fighter jet, and then we're going to talk about spanking him. I'm like, can we engage in politics? Can we have a disagreement that is respectful? But I mean, I shouldn't expect that from them, but it's always something weird. And I don't get why it's always something weird. But my initial reaction was when James really started, I was like, I can't let that fly. I can't let him just like quote tweet me with some weird crap and then go silent. And so yesterday I spent the day going back and forth with them. I also DM'd Stephen Chung privately, which I have not previously said publicly, but he didn't get back to me.
He did not?
No, he did not, unfortunately.
What was the spirit of what you said?
I'll read it to you word for word.
Please do.
It was not nice.
Ooh,
I said
breaking news.
And breaking news. So that one of the photos you showed where I ratioed him, I DM'd him. I said, "Get ratioed, you disgusting looking fuck."
Oh my goodness!
No response. No response.
Why
so
didn't
far.
he respond? What the heck? That was such a nice introduction.
I know, right? I was being nice to him, so I don't know. He didn't get back to me.
So okay, where do you have any conscious? Because I always struggle with this. Where like even today there came up on the show like some, I don't have to say what specifically, but just something that could border on going low. You know, do you consciously contemplate? Because I do. What is our obligation to modeling the behavior we wish politics resembled versus going where politics has gone?
That's a really good question. And let me tell you, when I was going back and forth with Stephen Chung and I was looking at those photos, it took every part of me not to go very, very low. And I mean, I was contemplating, I was writing in behind the scenes. I was like, I want to get back at Stephen Chung. I want to slam him. I don't want to offend broader people, so I won't do anything like that. And I just think it's kind of circumstantial when I pick and choose. So, if it's like some random MAGA troll on Twitter and they're saying something rude to me, saying something outrageous, I'll ignore it. They're just, there's somebody in their mom's basement just typing this crap from a Cheeto dust keyboard. It's fine. But when someone like Stephen Chung or James Blair, these are people who give Trump advice on a daily basis, are attacking private citizens like that, then I have no problem going low and meeting them where they're at, but also reminding everybody that we are actually on the right side of history and we are advocating for things that help people and they are not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that. The other thing that drives me crazy is thinking about the sewage video. And I know it's been said so many times, but oh my goodness, if Biden or Obama ever did just flip the scene for a second, picture that voters in Alabama, in rural Alabama, are protesting something about the Biden administration, and Biden posts an AI video of him flying with his aviators on in a jet and jumping shit, literally, all over them, pooing as the president on a bunch of rural conservative voters. The reaction would be he hates real Americans, he looks down on anyone who disagrees with them. Is there any, Harry, benefit in even pointing out that double standard, or you think that doesn't even matter to people?
There's a benefit for me. I know there's a benefit for me to keep me sane, to be like, are you guys not putting this together? That if Joe Biden did this, you guys would freak out. I mean, Joe Biden would breathe incorrectly, and they'd be calling for his impeachment. And this entire saga with Stephen Chung really reminded me of Neera Tanden, who in the very early days of the Biden administration was appointed by Biden for a Senate-approved position. And Senate Republicans would not vote for her based on her tweets because they thought they were inappropriate. So that was the standard they set. Now we have Stephen Chung talking about spanking me and the Republican, well, it's fine. The double standard, it drives me nuts. And I hope that for people watching at home, it does something. It certainly does something for me in terms of like just appreciating the hypocrisy that's coming from that side. But I mostly pointed out to keep me sane. Yeah,
I agree. Sometimes it just feels like cathartic to people who already know this to go, this is so crazy and hypocritical. And to your point, think about, I remember famously whenever Biden said, like, son of a bitch or something about the Fox reporter, Ducey. And then he did this whole apology and privately told, what's his name? Peter Ducey? That he didn't actually, he just said son of a bitch. I'm pretty sure that was the term he used. And of course, because he was getting irritated by him all the time, which it makes sense that you'd kind of occasionally vent and it got caught on a hot mic. He apologized. I think he offered to have lunch with Peter Ducey or something, because the reaction from right-wing media was, see, Biden doesn't respect people with different political views, and he probably also hates you if you're in West Virginia, and blah, blah, blah. And so it's such a big deal. But then Trump's doing, obviously, a gazillion X that nobody cares. Okay, well, here's a question I've been wanting to ask you before. And try to be actually, I don't know if you'll have a good an answer, but be as introspective as you can. Why do you think you evoke such a strong reaction? Why do you think you've become like the poster child for MAGA hate?
I've really thought about this a lot, and I think I'm going to let you down a little bit, Luke, with the answer of I think
I'm so handsome.
No, you said it. No, I'm joking. I really thought about it a lot. I don't know. I can't really put my finger down on one answer. I think it's mostly because on Twitter, where a lot of this happens and a lot of MAGA exists, I don't really treat it like a serious social media platform. I'm not like putting out my best work on Twitter. I'm more doing it to really like poke fun at MAGA, poke fun at Trump, and get under their skin a little bit. And I think they just fall for it every single time. I think they walk right into it. And after a while, if you just like keep baiting them into rage, it just becomes this. And that's my best guess. But in terms of anything else than that, I really don't know, because there are other political commentators out there who are just like me, like, generic looking white dudes who not that unique, not that special. And they don't get the same weirdness that I get. So I don't know. If you have a theory, let me know. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm a white dude. I'm anything but generic, Harry.
Sorry, Luke. That's right.
No, honestly, that was actually I think that was a really wise answer, because you're saying a little bit of rage bait. And so but then the other part of it, which is a good question, why you specifically, who knows? I think there's a particularly strange reaction about young men who do rage bait, and who garner large audiences, like especially on certain platforms. I think we're a little isolated, or like I'm a little isolated on YouTube, but you go so viral, like in the stratosphere, in the shorter form space. So then like a lot of them see it who otherwise aren't going to see like a political video from on YouTube of someone they already wouldn't agree with the views of, whereas you can have things go so much more viral in other spaces, I think, that you go on. So I think that with young men particularly trigger them, and then young good-looking men maybe trigger them even more, which is why they go into the constant sexual fantasies. But then I have to be uber transparent. I get jealous whenever I see, I'm just gonna say it, I get jealous, Harry.
Okay. Lay it on.
Whenever I see, because of course a part of it's like, wow, what a terrible time we're in, where the president of the United States is crapping on literally some random guy. But on the other end, I'm like, come after me. Ugh. They never tweeted me ever.
Well, you know what, Luke? Let me tell you, if you'd like, next time if Stephen Chung comes after me or one of these freaks, I'll tag you in. Like those WWE things, they tag in when they get tired. I'm gonna tag you and be like, listen, I'm off for the day. Y'all can take it up with my friend Luke Beasley over here. He'll take it from here, and you guys can have fun. And right. I'll back off on that.
Deal. All right, Harry, thank you so much for coming on. That was really fun. Let people know where they can support your work.
I'm everywhere. I mean, if you want to go see my beef with Stephen Chung, it's on Twitter, but I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. Try to be everywhere. So
cool. Thanks, Harry.
All right. Thanks, man.